internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world.
XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Well,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So far, script. Let's get right into today's video. The industry is about to sell us out to the governments. In today's episode, we're going to go over EU's ban on offline and private wallets. And these rules are going to come to the United States, Canada, other countries across the world, because they all want a level playing field. You need to understand this is their new infrastructure that they're building, and we've set this for a very long time. They're going to want to know all the information on every single individual that holds crypto. It's going to be hard, but they're going to want to know. Check this information out. We're going to go over today. And Ledger, I'm having second thoughts about Ledger. We'll get to that in a moment, but something just doesn't add up with me. EU cash cap and ban on anonymous crypto payments. This is monumental. The EU Parliament Leads Committee today approved far-reaching a new AML rule. Anonymous cash payments over 3,000 euros will be banned in commercial transactions. Cash payments over 10,000 euros will even be completely banned in business transactions. And anonymous payments in the cryptocurrencies to wallets operated by providers, hosted wallets, will be prohibited even for a minimum amounts without a threshold. Wow. And of course, individuals, the freedom fighters, they want to call them, explains his vote against. He says generally prohibiting anonymous payments would at best have minimal effects on crime, but it would deprive innocent citizens of their financial freedom. That is very true, because half the money laundering that happens with cash. And crypto, I mean, you could see all the crypto that are just sitting on ledgers just have been sitting on for years. I mean, there isn't much money laundering going on there. They just want a piece of the pie. And when we get into the official filing, the proposal for regulation of European Parliament and Council on prevention of the use of financial system for the purpose of money laundering and terrorism financing. Listen to what they said here. The prohibition does not apply to providers of hardware and software or providers of self-hosted wallets insofar as they do not possess access to or control over those crypto asset wallets, because we are the individuals that have control over it. So in essence, users of Ledger wallets or similar services are responsible for their crypto assets, and any other regulation would more directly affect them rather than the companies providing the hardware or software, assuming those companies, like a Ledger, don't take on the roles that give them access to or control over the user's assets. And what did Ledger do? They obtained majority of their users' access. I don't know how many individuals rolled into Ledger Recover, but let's take a look into this. Ledger last year in May announced their new feature, Wallet Recovery Made Easy with Ledger Recover. Whoever enrolls into this pretty much gives up their right, and now Ledger has access to it. I mean, I don't care what you say, and they have access to it if you enroll into this. And I recommend nobody do it, because why would you give up your private keys? It just doesn't make sense. And in a moment, it's going to get very sketchy. The way you verify here is through identification. So your ID would be uploaded, and they're going to tell you it's not KYC. I don't know what they're trying to say here, but this is completely bullshit. And guess what? You got to pay a monthly fee as well. I believe it's $12.99 a month, but here you could get a package, and you get 1 year of Ledger Recover for a discount. I'm not selling any of this. I'm just showing you what they got going on here. And if you go on to the frequently asked questions, how long is my secret recovery phrase secured by Ledger Recover? As long as you're subscribed to the service. So once we unsubscribe from the service, what happens to our recovery phrases? They could say they're going to delete it, they could get rid of it, but I don't believe any of that. I mean, my ID has been already uploaded, right? My seed phrases have already been given up, and they're pretty much telling you in this document, unless the service providers have access to this, which now they do if you enrolled in this feature. So they're slowly coming and trickling their way in and grabbing up whoever they can that enrolls into this. And what is the difference between Ledger Recover, identity verification, and KYC? And this is half bullshit, half not bullshit. The only reason why I say that, I've dealt with KYC my whole life. Worked around KYC, done KYC checks my whole life. KYC, so they went on to say, identity verification is not the same as KYC. Identity verification inherently collects much less information compared to KYC. Okay, they got a point there. To go through Ledger Recover, identity verification, you will need a valid government issued document and be the rightful owner of that document. KYC involves, you know what, before I get into that, so they're saying you need a government issued document. When a government organization goes over to Ledger, and with the amount of power that they have, all they need is your government ID to pretty much line you up within their database. And guess what? The government already has all your revenue information, your criminal activity, your citizenship. Come on, folks. This just boils my blood. Let's continue. KYC involves ID verification, but it can also include revenue information, record of criminal activity, citizenship check, etc. Again, Ledger Recover uses identity verification, not KYC. Wow. That is the biggest... I mean, I guess I'm pretty ticked off right now reading this, because that's how it goes. All the government needs is your first name and your last name, and they got everything else, baby. They got everything else, and Ledger is out here collecting seed phrases to individuals that get scared that they're going to lose their words. Come on, folks. This is financial freedom. This defeats the whole purpose of crypto. We're just going back to where we started. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but we still need that freedom that crypto itself provides. With that being said, let me know in the comments down below. This is a very important episode. I hope none of you guys miss this, because it's coming. It's coming everywhere. United States, Canada, Australia. It's taking place in the EU with Mika. It's all happening right now. 2024, 2025, 2026. Huge, monumental, life-changing.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch.
I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.